Warning: the following context may include scary sequences of light horror and many thrills. Some gruesome descriptions involving children may be present in some chapters. Some material may be unsettling to certain audiences. But don't worry, everything will be okay. Probably. Chapter 27. I hope you're not claustrophobic. Tori's perspective. The apple orchard looks just as we left it. Trees perfectly spread out from one another, with the poison one in the middle. The apples still look so shiny and perfect to the point of looking fake. The trees are so pretty, Sammy says, swooshing in and out of them. I wish I ate food so I could try an apple. Not these ones, I tell her. They're poison. At this point, Danny doesn't even flinch at me talking to the air. He just goes about his business. We're looking for a poison apple, Danny says, looking at the now very crinkled up paper. I think just any works? Works for me, I say, running to the apple tree that I know now to avoid. I wonder if I took another bite, would I have more visions? Would I have a better chance of understanding the curse? The idea is tempting, because I survived it already. What's another time? Tori, what are you doing? Danny says, pushing my shoulder, my good arm. Just thinking. No, he says, and I look up at him. You're not eating it again. You nearly died last time. Darn siblings, they always know how to read your mind. It might help, I plead my case. Absolutely not, he says. I'm using the big brother card. No. I cross my arms, feeling the annoyance creep back in. I already feel held back by this stupid dress that is so not practical for surviving this place. And now he has to make me feel held back from my own free will? I can feel my temper start to rise. Geez, annoyed and restrained are not a fun combination. Run! A voice shouts off in the distance. Sammy, Danny, and I all look around. Growling and moaning, weird coughing sounds, and scratching screams fill the air. What is that? Sammy says, floating a little bit higher. What? I say, and Sammy points down a narrow path. Danny and I look over and see Connor running for his life from a swarm of zombies. Run! He yells at us again. Danny grabs my hand and starts running. Stop! I yell, yanking my hands back. We can't outrun them. Let's climb the trees. Connor, this way! Danny yells, pointing to the trees. He hoists me up and I lend him a hand. Connor runs over and Danny yanks him off the ground. The three of us climb as high as the branches will allow as countless zombies attempt to jump, crawl, and climb their way up to us, but ultimately fail. A sigh of relief escapes Connor's lungs. I wonder how long he's been running. He rests his head against the trunk of the tree and holds his chest. Then it dawns on me. Connor! I scream. Where is Dixie? Danny's eyes grow wider as the realization hits him. Without opening his eyes, Connor tries to talk through his heavy breaths. She's okay for now. She's on a pirate ship. Danny and I look at each other, thinking the exact same thing. You left her on a pirate ship? He snaps. What for? He takes another deep breath. She was injured. This time he looks at us, his eyes filled with too many emotions to count. It's pretty bad. What happened? I ask, feeling the tears build up. She fought a legendary siren. Pretty hardcore, actually, but was stabbed in the leg several times. The pirates gave her a healing potion and told me to get her after I collected the item from the dead town. She needed more time to heal. A heavy feeling takes over my body as it all sinks in. Connor explains how the zombies escaped from their boundaries, so who knows what that means for the rest of the maze. We wait until the zombies have left to head back to the pirate ship. I grab a poison apple and stuff it in Danny's backpack, and we start back on the trail. Dixie's perspective. My weight shifts back and forth with each sway of the waves. The flickering light from several candles slowly wakes me. Adjusting my position, I scratch my head, attempting to open my eyes wider. Hello? I call out, noticing how rough and weak my voice is. The door creaks open and Blackbeard walks in. "Hello, dearie," he says, sitting beside me on the small bed. "Good to see you're awake." Where is Connor, and what happened? I glance around the room, but there's no sign of him anywhere. Blackbeard rests his hand on my shoulder. "Easy now. He's gone to collect the other item. He'll be back." I jolt into a sitting position, which really hurts my leg. "He's on his own?" I say. "Why would he be so reckless? We've barely made it through the last places together." Blackbeard stands off the bed. "May I look?" he says, pointing to my leg. I'm scared to see how bad my leg really is. Pulling the blankets to the side, I expose my leg to the light. A few cuts, nearly healed, and 3 large bruises are all to be found. "Looking good, all things considered," Blackbeard says. "How did it—" "We gave you a healing potion. You should be back to normal within a few days. Why don't you try walking?" He lends me a hand, and I gently stand to my feet. Although wobbly, I can walk from one side of the room to the other without falling over. "Good," he cheers me on. "Captain," a rugged voice calls from the top deck. "He's back, and he's brought some friends." "Who's back?" I ask, and Blackbeard smiles. "Well, I'd assume it's your friend. We aren't expecting anyone else." I can feel my face visibly light up. He came back. He's okay. I wonder who he ran into. Carefully, but still quickly, I walk up the stairs, holding on to the railing for support. "Where is Dixie?" I hear Tori's voice ask. Oh, how it's good to hear her, to know she's still alive. Reaching the top of the stairs, I see Connor, Tori, and Danny standing next to Redbeard. "Hi, guys," I say, catching my breath. That took a lot out of me. Connor drops his backpack and runs to me, gripping me tightly in his arms. I wasn't expecting this much care from him, but I appreciate it. You're awake, he says, almost crying. He lets me go and looks down to check my leg. "Wow, that stuff really works well." "I know," I laugh. "Dixie!" Tori runs to me, wrapping her arms around me. "I'm so happy to see you. I have so much to tell you." I giggle. If only she knew what I've been through. I'd imagine she's got some pretty crazy stories of her own. Danny walks over and gives me a hug. "I'm glad you're okay," he tells me, giving me a soft smile. Me too. The pirates let us stay and eat food before we leave. They serve us smoked fish and crispy seaweed. It's not my favorite, but it's food, so I'm thankful. The 4 of us decide we'll stay together for the next location, especially because we've been there before, the cave. "You could always take the underground path," one of the pirates tell us, chomping down on a huge fish fillet. "The what?" Tori asks. He wipes his beard with his arm. "The path that goes underground, it reaches the cave, then goes back down till it reaches—" He pauses. A forgetful expression stretches across his face. "I don't know, wherever it leads to next." "That doesn't sound terrible," Danny says, looking at us for input. "I suppose it could be a better option, especially with the zombies running free now," Connor says. "Excuse me, what?" I say, because what the heck did he just say? Danny, Tori, and Connor exchange a worried look, an "oh shoot" look, like they forgot to tell me something very important. "So," Connor sighs, turning his body towards mine, "when I left the dead town, the zombies didn't stop. They ran out of the barrier that held them back last time I was there. So," Danny says, "we're not sure if that means all the creatures can go anywhere now?" He takes a big bite of seaweed, barely getting it down. "Oh," I allow this information to sink in. I think of all the creatures we've encountered. At least we killed the scarecrow. "Anything else that you guys haven't told me?" I ask. "I have a ghost friend," Tori says casually. "Okay." I start to laugh at how absurd this whole mess has become. "Are they here?" "Yep," Tori says. "She's right behind me. She says hello. Her name is Sammy." I decide there's no use to question anything at this point. "Hi, Sammy." I wave behind Tori and she giggles. Did Sammy say something funny? This is going to be strange. We give our thanks to the pirates and ask them for directions to the tunnel. With our group almost back together, we head out on the trail once again. The walk is exhausting with an injured leg. Each step aches. Connor keeps glancing at me. I'm sure he's worried about me, but I try to brush it off. I don't want to freak him out anymore. The longer I've been with the group, the more I long for my family. I miss grandmother and grandfather and my parents. I often miss my parents, but not this deeply. A stabbing feeling in my chest, no, my heart, continually cuts. Where is this coming from? Are you feeling okay? Connor asks as he walks closer to me. I miss my family, but so bad it hurts, I say, trying my best not to let him see me wince in pain. I'm sorry. He seems to be at a loss for words, and honestly, me too. Wait, he says. It might be the picture I had to collect from the dead town. It was a picture of a family, and suddenly it all makes sense. Not to poke any wounds, he says hesitantly, but it makes sense that it clings to you more than me. I laugh a little, because he's right. Out of the four of us, I did lose the most people. We're here, Tori calls out, standing next to a metal circle on the ground. That must be the entrance. Huh. I half laugh and half sigh. Remember when Kiri asked if we were claustrophobic? We all chuckle a little, but then pause, because none of us know for sure if Kiri and Martha are okay. We all just hope we'll meet up with them at the ghost trail. The tunnel is much tighter than the one we'd been to with Kiri. I try taking deep, slow breaths as we inch our way through. The pirates gave us a couple of torches and homemade matches for light. All I keep thinking is how in movies, when they enter a dark tunnel, nothing good ever happens. We got this, team, Danny says with a smile. Since when did he become all cheerful? I whisper to Tori. Heh, he got the dream catcher feeling, so he's all peaceful now, she says, obviously annoyed. Wow, that's unfair, I say. All I got was feeling empty, and now missing my parents super bad. She laughs, relating to my struggles. Right? All I got was super irritated at everything and restrained, like someone is physically holding me back. Oh, she looks over her shoulder, and Sammy, so I also got a friend, so I suppose that part is cool. Wow, you got 3? I say. That's interesting. Connor, she loud whispers to Connor, who's just a couple of steps ahead of us. What feelings did you get? He turns around, now walking backwards, which makes me nervous in a dark underground tunnel. Are we just sharing our feelings now? He smirks. Seems a little personal. He gives us a silly grin. Dar very funny, Tori says, but she's also smiling. Let's see. I got feeling shut in and closed off from the outside world. It's a wonderful experience, 10 out of 10 stars. You should try it sometime. And, he ponders, oh yeah, I feel really greedy with the necklace now. Oh? I ask, because this was new to me. Yep, he says, now gritting his teeth. It's pretty bad, actually. It's like I'm fighting with an evil twin who keeps telling me that all that matters is what I want, and I'm very envious. He turns back around. Are you going to be able to handle that? Tori says sarcastically. Yeah, he says with a heavy sigh. I know how to handle envy. I wonder what he means by that. But he does seem to be okay, so I'll take his word for it. Watch out! Danny calls out, turning around abruptly, putting his hand out for us to stop. What? Tori yells. The trail has stopped, opening to a giant underground cave full of purple jewels and a very large cliff. As beautiful as it is, the drop from up here would be deadly. Far off, on the other side of the cave, is the continuation of the trail, at the bottom. Well, Danny says, less peaceful this time. How do we do this? Sammy has an idea, Tori says, and we all turn to look at her. Tori straightens up and takes a deep breath, as if what she says is going to sound crazy. Sammy might be able to float us down there. Might? Connor asks. What does that mean? Tori rubs her arm, and that's when I notice Danny's old t-shirt is tied around it, and he's wearing a new one. I wonder what happened. She might be able to soften our fall, make it where we don't get hurt, Tori tries to explain. Danny and Connor exchange a worried look. When did those two become buddy-buddy, or at least on the same thought process. And what if that doesn't work? Danny says, trying to be nice, knowing that Sammy is right here even if we can't see her. Sammy, how would we know that would work? We can't just jump off a cliff. I'm going to jump and see if she can catch me or something, Tori tells us. No, Connor says, reaching out to keep her from jumping off the cliff. You cannot do that. I'm just jumping right here where I am. Gosh, I'm not that stupid, Tori says, waving him off. I chuckle a little. Her annoyance is pretty funny. She leaps into the air best she can and pauses, mid-jump, and is slowly brought back down to her feet. No way, Connor says as a smile grows on his face. Sammy, you're awesome. I'm not sure what Sammy said, but Tori giggles to herself and whispers, I know. First, Sammy lowers Danny to the ground, then heads back up for the next one of us. A thunderous shake and growling noise causes all of us to freeze. What was that? I ask, looking over the edge to make sure Danny is okay. He's standing at the bottom, waiting for us to be lifted down. No, Connor mutters under his breath. No, no, no. Connor, what is it? I ask as the scratchy, gargling cries get closer. Is that? Tori looks up at Connor in panic. Zombies, Connor whispers. My eyes grow wider as the terror sets in. The shaking of the tunnel grows stronger. Sammy, get us down now, Connor yells, shoving me and Tori to the edge. Tori jumps and Sammy breaks her fall, landing her gently on the ground. Dixie, go, Connor yells at me. The cries echo through the tunnel, making it near impossible to hear anything else. Turning his only torch towards the tunnel, we see a giant swarm of flesh-hungry zombies running towards us. Grabbing the stick he'd previously found from his backpack pocket, Connor prepares to fight. You can't take them on, I yell, pulling at his shirt. He looks behind me, then back at my eyes, with tears welling up in his. No, he grits his teeth, but I can slow them down. No! I scream as tears begin pouring down my face. You can't leave me! A heavy sigh consumes his whole body, tears covering his cheeks. And I can't let you stay here. Get them home, Dixie, he tells me, squeezing my hand. Sammy! He calls out, and before I can scream, he pushes me off the ledge. For a second, just 1 second, I can see Connor throw the torch into the swarm of zombies, and then he's gone, swallowed by the endless pile of bodies. Chapter 28. Time Warp. Martha's Perspective. Tune in tomorrow.